Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys had an awesome summer and are getting set for the upcoming 2026 riding season. Before we take delivery of the sleds, we obviously like to get the garage prepped. And one of the things that we took on last year was a new product that we were really excited about, and that's our PowerLift. This is the most heavy-duty unit you can find in the market. It's an electric lift that allows you to store your sleds and stack them. So hopefully those of you who purchased one from us over the last year have enjoyed it. But what I wanted to do is we got a lot of questions around assembly over the course of the year. And finally, I've actually taken delivery of a new demo unit that we're going to be using this year in the garage and also dragging it to the shows. And I'm going to show you guys all the different components and how it actually all goes together. So the purpose of this video today is to do a full assembly on the PowerLift, and we're going to show you guys what's involved and what tools you need. So stick around, it's going to be a good one. Sledaddicz is brought to you by Team Vincent Motorsports, Bergstrom Carbides, Ledger Performance, Ultimax Belts, Stud Boy Studs, and Radio World. So when you take delivery of your PowerLift unit, it's going to be coming on a skid. And the skid will be nicely wrapped. All the components are stacked nicely so that everything is kind of neat and tidy when you get it. So when you take it apart, you're going to be left with obviously a bunch of different components on your garage floor. I'm going to walk through the different components. Now, obviously, depending on how you ordered and how you optioned the lift is going to depend on what you actually get as far as your lift and how you're going to build it. Now, for the most part, I've got all the different components with this lift today, and we're going to start with the base lift, what you get, how that goes together, along with the Snowmobile service kit. And we're going to show you the different components of that, and again, how they piece together when you're assembling the lift. Now, the Snowmobile service kit is something that helps to kind of lift the track up off of the unit itself. It allows you to spin the track, and it allows you to do studding work. If you want to get up into the suspension, do some greasing, do some idler wheels, whatever it is that you're trying to do with the suspension, you can actually lift the track off the ground. It's a really nice feature, nice add-on for the unit. You can add it on to any base unit that you want, or if you order it up front, you're definitely going to put that on as part of putting the entire unit together. Now, the great news is we have two different sets of instructions that are included with your PowerLift, okay? The first one is going to be the base unit build, and the second one is going to be for the service kit. And there's also an ATV add-on kit, which is super easy, and I'll show you guys how that works. Literally just pops on. There's no nuts and bolts or wrenching required to put that together. But what I think is important before we even get into the process of assembly is just recognizing that if you have purchased the base lift with the Snowmobile service kit, you need to pay attention, because you want to make sure that you're not putting the base lift together first, and then you're going to have to disassemble different components in order to actually get the Snowmobile service kit on that unit. So we're going to do it all as kind of one assembly, but I just want to make that clear. If you have ordered it with the Snowmobile service kit, you just keep that in mind. Don't sort of start on the base kit installation instructions and start putting that unit together, because you're going to have to take off some major components in order to get the service kit on. So I'm going to show you guys the different components first, and then I've got some helping hands that are going to work with me today to actually get the entire unit built. All right, so first things first, you're going to see the base of the PowerLift right there on the garage floor. That's obviously the biggest component for this entire build that you're going to have to deal with, but it's pretty easy once you get it on the floor. Casters, obviously, so it rolls around to wherever you need it to. And the most important part for the first step that you'll see is we're going to be bolting down the boom, which I'm going to show you next, to the base unit. All right, so you'll see I've got all the components of the lift actually spread out on the floor here. So the big piece here, that's your boom. So that's a 7-foot boom and is definitely a heavy component. It's about 300 pounds. So you're gonna need a few people to lift that up. And that is what's gonna attach to the front, to those 3 bolts on the front of the base. Now, one other thing I'll show you as well as part of some of the first assembly too will be, there's going to be 2 side pieces that kind of sit on where these 3 bolts are, and they're ski pans essentially is what they are. They hold the skis when you drive the sled on it, or if you drive your ATV on it. So those are going to attach where those 3 bolts are on each side. Super easy. They're actually going to come in a box like this. So once you open that up, and the guys have done a great job. One of our recommendations last year was to put ski guides on them, so you can see just underneath here. Let's see if I can get a better shot. So when you open that up, those 2 pans are going to come with ski guides already attached to them. And again, super easy. They're just going to bolt to each side, one there and one there. So, as I mentioned before, if you do order it with the Snowmobile service kit, you're going to get this unit here. Now, the nice thing is, again, the guys have done an awesome job. They've basically put it together for you. So all you need to do is just bolt this down to the unit. So we're going to obviously install that as part of my build. That really just allows you to, do some service work. Like I said, lift the back of the track off of the unit itself. It's got really nice pads that kind of will sit underneath your running board. And again, I'm going to show this later on, but the beauty of it, they've done some awesome updates on the service kit over the last year or so, and they've allowed you to actually change the width of it, so you can move these bars in and out depending on how wide of a sled you have. So that's a really super nice feature, just to help it make it easier to lift and work on your sled. Now this right here is going to be the front of the service kit. So the service kit comes kind of in 2 pieces. This is the other piece of it. And all this is really going to go on the front of the boom. It's going to attach to. And there's your lever where you pull on that once you get it all bolted together. And that's what's going to do the lifting of the machine off of the track unit. All right, so this is the last piece of the puzzle. And again, this is kind of the top upper piece that the snowmobile skis will sit on. So this is the part that actually goes up and down using the winch. And so that's the front part of it, the front section, I should say. And then the rear section that the track stands on is the last piece, which you see here on the right side. So this piece here. And that's going to bolt up on the front to that section, and again, that's kind of where the back part of your snowmobile will sit, which is on that track platform. All right, so those are the components kind of spread out all along my garage floor. Let's get at it. We're gonna put this thing together. All right, so first step is to grab your bottom pans, which are going to be for the skis, and you're going to line them up, obviously. Now you can tell, obviously, there's a left and right. Just make sure that the ramp is facing forward. And obviously, you're going to bolt it down on the inside. You're going to need 3/4 inch wrench, and I'm using, obviously, my impact with a socket as well. So take these off completely, and we'll re-bolt those through in a sec. All right, so all you're gonna do is line it up and get your first one through. Just like that. And then put the other ones through as well, just to hang it on there. Then we'll tighten everything down. Beautiful. That's it, that's one side. So now we're gonna move over to the left side and we'll get this one done as well, same process. All right, so next step, we're going to get this boom attached to the base unit. There's 3 big bolts. You're gonna need a few tools, which I actually didn't have anything big enough, so I had to go out and purchase a 1 1/8 size wrench. And then I also got a 1 1/16 socket for the nuts. And so we've got some hired help. You're gonna need an extra set of hands for this. So I've got some buddies here that are gonna help me get this thing together, and we'll show you guys how to do it. Okay, put those aside. Now for the fun part. So we're gonna come up with it.
Can we roll it first?
We sure can, yeah.
I don't know how.
Probably that way.
Sensitive the machinery is.
Yeah, I'll help you guys. I mean, let's see what we can do. Let's roll it this way. All right, now let's see if we can lift it up. Yeah, bring it towards me.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm told this is about 300 and some odd pounds. Okay, so now the trick's gonna be to get it up there. I would probably hold it from here, like this. And then on the count of 3, you ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Watch your back there. Just a bit.
Yep.
There we go.
Perfect. Just like that. Perfect.
Okay, Leo and I will hold it here.
Yeah, you guys hold it for support. That wasn't actually too bad. Okay, so now we've got the 7-foot boom attached to the base unit, and what you're gonna wanna do next is actually drop down this, this top part of the lift. And so you're gonna plug it in, we'll get the winch going, and then we're gonna drop it down, because the next part that we have to do is attach the service kit and then the top part of the lift. So I'll do that first. Yeah, so there's a safety pin on this side, like a cotter pin, that's got to come out, and then you have to take the weight off it.
Yeah, like any lift.
Yep, just like that. And then you have to hold this in order for it to go down.
Oh, nice.
So you just pull that back, drop it down. Yeah, so it stops automatically, and then you pop the safety back in. Okay, so the next part, we're going to attach the top part of the lift for the sled along with the snowmobile service kit, and those are gonna have to go together. So I'm gonna show you guys how this is gonna look. Okay, so this is the first part of the snowmobile service kit that you're gonna attach to the lift, and it ends up getting sandwiched in between the next piece, which we'll show you in a sec. So this, I was dumb, couldn't figure it out. So we have a woman here who actually was able to figure it out. It goes like this. So if you're facing the rear, or if you're facing the front of the lift, the lever should actually be on the left side, okay? So that's how this is gonna go on. Then we're gonna get the next piece, and we're gonna bolt it all together as one, and that'll take care of the first part of this section. All right, so I've got my friend Caitlin. She's holding the Snowmobile service kit arm in place. And the guys are gonna grab the top part of the sled lift. And you're gonna see they'll bring it over. We're gonna bolt this all into place. Just so you know, we just found out there's 2 different size bolts that you're gonna need as far as tools to go with this part. So you're gonna need a 3/4 and you're also gonna need 15/16. So I've got a wrench and a socket for both of those.
Good?
Yep. Okay. Bring her over. All right, perfect. Okay, just a quick update. So for the top bolts, when you're mounting this together, you're gonna need a 1-inch wrench to get in through the top. And then as far as the socket goes, you can still keep the 15/16 for that. Then on the bottom part, you're gonna switch those up. And you're gonna go with a 3/4 socket. That's it. Perfect. And we're done that part. All right, so last step in the process, we're gonna take the second piece of the service kit, and we're also gonna take the piece that the track of your sled will actually sit on, and they both will bolt into the frame right up here. So we're gonna try to do this. We've got lots of hands, so let's hope it goes smoothly. Let's see what we do here. Okay, so here's what we learned with assembly, and it took us a few times to figure this out. When you're, again, putting the Snowmobile service kit on the lift, you can put this back boom on first. So it kind of clips in, and it will sit right on the lift. And then what you need to do, instead of, we came on the first time, we came from the top with the service kit, you actually need to come from the bottom. And you can see we've just got it resting right on the pads right now. So it's actually quite easy. Once you do that, the holes will line up. So just make sure if you're adding the Snowmobile service kit, when you're going to put this piece together, you come from the bottom up and the holes will line up. Okay, awesome. So we're coming into kind of the final steps. Really the lift is together. All you're doing at this point is you're putting the assembly for the arm, which lifts the back of the sled up off the unit. So I'm gonna get Jamie to lift this up for me. Now I'm just lining it up to put the bolts in as it is right now. Once we get the machines and we get the sled on it, you might actually have to do some adjustments. So I just wanna do this to hold it in place. Drop her down a bit. So till it's actually like straight, okay? Yeah, probably like that. Perfect. Basically what you want to do for the service kit is you want to size it for whatever make and model and length your machine is on top. And I'm going to show you there's 2 parts to that process. So this one that I'm working on now, which is essentially the length of this arm, and this is what will actually lift it up. So you're gonna do this adjustment first, and you're probably also gonna have to adjust the main arm. So you can see right now this is pointed forward. We actually want it pointed upward, so I'm gonna readjust that. And then the last piece, the third adjustment, which we did a bit of an update on last year, is now you can actually adjust the width for any different track widths with these. And these are the pads that go underneath the running boards of the machine. So again, once we get our first sled on it, we'll adjust them. These will come in and out. And then you just, from underneath, you just tighten up the bolts. So for now, I'm just gonna tighten them just to keep everything in place. James, I'm gonna get you to hold that arm for me, just while I tighten it up underneath. All right, so I'm just gonna show you guys a quick close-up of the unit. And again, this is kind of what you're gonna be adjusting. So this bar shouldn't be facing forward. So I'm gonna adjust that so it's pointing upwards. That way you're kind of lifting it from here and it's out of the way if you have a machine on top. The second adjustment on the service kit is just the length of this arm. And then the other two adjustments here, you can see, you can adjust the width. Again, that's for different track widths. So if you have like a 20-inch or a 24-inch wide expedition, you'll want to move that out as much as possible. And then the last one is just to hold these pads which go under your running boards. You're going to hold those in place. So you're just tightening up the bolts underneath. So yeah, like that, right? Something like that. Oh, that one's probably okay. So now the idea is the arm is out of the way. So when you lift it, it then lifts up the pads on the back and it'll lift up the rear of the machine. So this will take some adjusting once you get a sled on the top part of the unit, but that's pretty much it. All right, guys, that takes care of our assembly video on the new PowerLift. I really hope you guys are excited about the units, and hopefully this helps you on your journey for assembly in your garage or your shop. And I think once you get it all together, you're gonna love them just as much as we do. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you on the next one.